Hey guys, I hope you're doing well and hope you're having a happy Easter on this Easter Sunday. It's day 13 for me. Um, Luckily, my mother still got me a Easter egg, just not an edible one. She quite kindly bought me a paint your own egg set, which I have done. So I too was still able to enjoy Easter and have an Easter egg. So still going quite well for me. Since my weigh-in on Thursday, I've lost another kilo, so now I'm down to 172.2. So meaning total overall, since starting the journey, I've lost 9.3 kilos, which is fantastic since it's only come to the end of week two. Uh, with my understanding of the kind of like Path to Remission Programme, for these first 3 months of doing like just the sakes, they want me to kind of lose between 10 to 15% of my initial body weight. So that'd be about 18 to 27 kilos. Um, and then after that, when they start reintroducing the food, I hopefully maintain that weight lost while starting to eat on higher calories again. So obviously increasing activity and stuff like that. So I'm pretty much halfway there to the 10%. Hopefully, we can get to the 15%. I think personally, like, so if the goal of the program is to aim for like between 10 to 15% to get off, I think in my mind, what I would like to do is have like 15% as the minimum. So definitely kind of like try and get to the 27 kilos and then maybe do between like 15 to 20%. So, like, definitely minimum 27 kilos off and then maybe aim for like 36 kilos off and then try and maintain that. That would be ideal for the year. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. I mean, obviously, if I still keep within the like the program's kind of like expectations, that's great as well. But for me personally, if I can get to that kind of like 27 kilo mark, that would be great. I would definitely notice that probably the weight is started to slow down as coming off because I think the last time I did like a weight like between the weigh-in day and my Sunday video, I lost like another 2 or 3 kilos. So this time only losing like a kilo, I can understand that maybe like we've come to the end of that kind of like detox and like water loss phase, and maybe now we're getting into the actual kind of like fat and maybe possibly a little bit of muscle loss as well. So I'll just have to kind of keep on maybe doing resistance activities in order to try and keep the muscle and hopefully just focus the weight loss on the fat loss part. So yeah, definitely feeling that might be slowing down. If I can still kind of aim for kind of like losing between a couple kilos, like a kilo to a kilo a week, because I've still got 12, not 12, 10 weeks left on the program, then I'll definitely kind of hit my goal of how much weight I want to lose. So that would be ideal. That'd kind of make the best scenario. Um, Updates on kind of how I've been feeling in the past week. Again, still no real side effects. Hunger has been able to be kept at bay with the pacing of the shakes. Um, Food cravings are definitely still a thing. I'll get into those a bit later. Um, and yeah, it's no, I'm not suffered any headaches or any dizzy spells or any stomach pains or anything like that. And kind of, it's funny. Part of me kind of feels like I'm cheating, or this is it feels like cheating, because when I think I mentioned before when I first heard about or was referred to the program, I did a bit of research. So I went online on YouTube and TikTok, and I'd found other people who were documenting their own journeys, and almost all of the ones that I found, they were kind of like say how they were struggling with it, and it'd only been like a few weeks in. There was one creator I found who'd been in it for like I think 4 or 5 days, and they said they've kind of like failed and eaten 2 or 3 times in that period. Someone else was complaining about being just like lots of headaches and dizziness, or having like stomach problems with it. And I think there are like 5 or 6 creators that I'd come across which were experiencing that. So when my initial kind of thoughts going into this were like, oh my god, this is going to be hell with the kind of like impact that this is going to be worth it. I need to do it. And for me to kind of like just kind of, I would say like I've kind of like coasted through these first 2 weeks quite easily. I had the routine set up. I've not suffered any headaches. I've not suffered any stomach pains. There's definitely been some, the very first few days, bowel movements were a bit of an issue because I suddenly switched to an all liquid diet. But with the fiber supplement included with the shakes, that's pretty much dealt with that. Um, The only thing I would say that I've definitely experienced over this last week is the kind of like the dip in energy from only having 900 calories a day. That's definitely been noticeable as like on the days when I do go into the office for work instead of working from home. I'm far more tired on those days from the traveling to and from work, and then when I get back, I'm almost drained. Whereas days when I'm working from home, I'm not so drained, but I still do like 10 or so minutes on the exercise bike each day as well, just to kind of keep some activity levels going on those days. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of like, again, it feels odd that I've been able to get through it so, in my opinion, so easily. Whereas others has struggled so much. So again, kind of there's kind of a bit like that. I guess it's like imposter syndrome, or if I feel like I'm cheating. But hey ho, I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna complain. If I feel like I'm smashing it, I'm smashing it going forward, which is great. I'm gonna take it. Sorry, I've just had a shake and I'm always a little bit gassy after a shake. Uh, what else are we talking about? So yeah, so still going good. So nothing really major to report from this week. Uh, Talking about things like the cravings, I think they're getting a bit desperate. The food goblin on my shoulder, who kind of like suggests things to me that taste great and like what it wants. Whereas before, it was just things like I would have regularly had throughout, like say the week, like crisps, pizza. Well, I say it's particular types of crisps, like kettle crisps, pizza, and Chinese stuff like that. I think he's getting desperate and starting to suggest things that I haven't had in like the longest time to try and get like that nostalgia element on me. Because for some reason, out of nowhere, I had the craving for hula hoops. I haven't thought about hula hoops in months, maybe a year. I do consider hula hoops to be a top tier crisp. I really like them, and I think it kind of knew that, and it was just kind of think, yeah, a bag of hula hoops go down. I could absolutely smash a bag of hula hoops right now. But I think the way I'm trying to perceive that is that I'm winning. It shows that I'm in control and that I'm being disciplined because the food goblin's getting desperate and throwing curveballs at me to try and get me to break. So that's how how I'm turning it on myself to say I'm winning at this because he's getting desperate by suggesting these kinds of things. Um, so that's good. I'm again positivity in that kind of thing, not giving in because I know I'm winning because I'm hearing the food noise. If I wouldn't be hearing the food noise if I just given up and did order a pizza or did go out and get some hula hoops or whatever, I knew that would be a failure. But because I can hear the food noise and I know it's getting desperate by suggesting those odd things, I'm winning. So that's the good thing on that. I'm still doing the what seems like quite counterintuitive of looking at food videos and recipes and then trying to see if I can convert them to make them lower calorie, higher protein, and just kind of like enjoyable for me. Um, and then cataloging them. So like once I've made that recipe, I check like the macros of it. Is it going to be good? I used AI quite a lot with that as well to help me kind of like define those recipes. Just kind of check my work, and if they line up, then I know we're all good. And I kind of extended that as well because I've started to think about the future for kind of like social situations. Because there are times where, like, say, I meet up with friends, we go to like, we kind of meet up at one of their houses, and the kind of done thing is like, while we're like chatting or doing it, is sometimes we would order something like a Domino's. And so I thought to myself, I'd rather not be in a situation where, like, say, everyone's doing the Domino's, and one, I'm either saying I'm not eating because, like, I'm trying to watch my figure kind of thing, um, or like say if it comes to a point, it's like I do try and order something, but I spend ages looking through the menu because I'm trying to find something that would do better for me. So what I've done is I downloaded their nutritional information documents, and I looked through that, and I actually basically I've pre-built a pizza which I know that I can order just at a click of a button, which is going to be one of their lowest in calories, but again kind of helps out with like the protein and like being have a lot of veg or something on it, which would be satiating to make it bulkier. So now that I know if I go into one of those social situations where they say, "Oh yeah, we're getting Domino's," I can just instead of like faffing around or seeming like a bit of a you know obscene prick or something like, "Oh yeah, no, I've got to look at the calories and sort myself out," kind of thing. I don't need to say any of that. I can just go boop 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 and order the thing. I know that I've pre done my homework, so I know that's going to be lower calorie and higher protein, better for me, and I can enjoy pizza with my friends. So that was the goal of that, and I think that was quite a fun exercise for me to do because I do like working stuff out, problem solving, all that kind of thing. Kind of fitted in. It distracted me from food noise by looking at food and working something out, and I felt good at the end of it knowing that I have that in the catalogue ready to go if I'm ever in that situation and I have, like, say, do you want to order pizza? I could just go, yeah, absolutely, and I just say I have this. Bosh, sorted. That's great. I think I've definitely felt a bit lighter in myself as well from the kind of weight loss. I don't know yet if like clothes or anything are kind of fitting better. I think psychologically I think they are, but I don't know if physically they are yet. We'll see. I'm doing better on the exercise bike. When I first got it and I first tried riding on it, I could barely last 5 minutes, mainly for two reasons. One, because I was so out of shape, and two, the seat on it was just so small and very uncomfortable because it's one of the kind of like cheaper models, like a Chinese thing. It's I don't think it's rated for me at all, but there's always a bit of a leeway with those ratings. So one thing I've done is I've went onto Amazon and I bought a larger, more padded bicycle seat. That's helped a lot. And the other day I managed to get up to, I think, 17 minutes. And the reason it was 17 minutes and not say like 15 or 20 is because I do set a stopwatch, but I don't look at a clock. What I've been doing is I've been bringing up a Spotify playlist on the screen that faces the bike so I can see it. And I put on a playlist and I say I'm going to cycle for 4 to 5 songs, and I have the lyrics screen up so I can read the lyrics, because usually it'd definitely be a playlist of songs I know and would sing along to, but I put the enhanced filter on so it'll bring in a random song every now and again of the same vibe. And so what that basically means for me is that I'm not looking at like a clock, I'm just pedaling through, singing or jamming along to a song. And if it's a song I don't know, because I can see the lyrics and read them, that also distracts me from like looking at time or thinking that I'm pedaling, kind of thing. That's worked for me as well. And I managed to do 17 minutes quite, I think, comfortably. I probably could have gone for a bit further, but by the end of those 70 minutes, I was quite sweaty. So I didn't want to exert myself too much, especially with being on the only 900 calories a day as well. Other things that I've done to kind of make life easier is I bought some flour containers to decant the shake pouches into, mainly because I find, because they have the weird like clip Ziploc seals on them, they're a bit fiddly sometimes to close, especially when the powder starts getting in there. And I'm always a little bit worried that I'm going to knock one over and it's just going to spill everywhere. So I bought some flour containers and I decanted the pouches into that. And it just makes it so much easier for getting my hand in to scoop and measure out the day before when I'm prepping the little pots of the powder. And it just looks nicer as well, having it on the side in tubs. I've also picked up from My Protein, I think I mentioned it before, about how you can do the flavors and things for it. So this is toffee flavor. I also bought one which was white chocolate flavor, and 10 drops of these as a calorie mixed in with 300 mils of water for the shake, and they are a game changer. Instantly, this toffee one makes the banana shake taste like a banoffee shake, and the white chocolate one, when mixed with the strawberry, it almost tastes like I don't know if you've ever tasted, like, I think it's like the ruby chocolate, like on Kit Kats or anything like that in the past. It's a little bit like that, just like basically like a strawberry chocolate kind of thing. And it works well with the vanilla, and the toffee one works quite well with the chocolate as well. I may look at other flavors to have in the future, maybe a blueberry one to have with the vanilla. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it just helps by adding like an extra level of variety with the shakes, as well as, like, say, mixing up the powders. So like I'm I'm not bored of those shakes yet. I've managed to find a way to bring up the variety, so still really enjoying it. I feel like I've rambled a lot. I think I've covered everything really that's happened this week. So kind of like in summary, like no major updates. Like I'm still cruising on through quite happily with it. Weight loss is still happening, which is great. Yeah, cravings are still there, but beating them. And I'm keeping myself busy with looking at food videos and making my own little recipes and cataloguing them ready for when I do get to eat food again. I can hopefully hit the ground running and make a meal for myself which is low calorie, high protein, and I can still lose weight on. So those are the goals. Uh, Thank you again so much for your support. The videos online are doing really well, especially the shorts on TikToks with the weigh-ins. I've had people reach out to me um, to kind of like who are in similar situations to talk out, which has been great. Same with the community on the app as well. I've posted things that I've done, and they've all had kind of great reception of thinking, saying they're good ideas or that they're going to use them. So that's been nice as well. So yeah, I think that's enough from me until Thursday when I have my next away in and call, and I'll upload another short to YouTube and TikTok and post the picture of me cheekily pointing at the weight tracker on Instagram and Facebook. So until then, I hope again you have a lovely rest of the Easter weekend. Enjoy that bank holiday Monday. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Take care of yourselves. Thank you again so much for your support. Great love to you all, and goodbye.